So this year's Game of the Year awards has come and gone, and it was not particularly the best, but it was also not bad. It was like we got some good reviews, announcements, some good games to look forward to next year. So I'm here in this video with everything that was announced at the Game Awards, excluding the mobile games. So let's get started. At number 45, we are getting a weird one here. I'm starting off with the Super Mario Bros. Movie clip that was shown. Don't worry, this is the only one in this list. So the clip shows Toad taking Mario through Mushroom Kingdom, and we see our mustached plumber introduced to warp travel, among other Easter eggs and references to the games. Next, we have Square Enix RPG Forspoken, which as of now, a demo has been released on PlayStation Network, where you can get to play until its full release next year on 24th January on PS5 and PC. Next is Skydance Interactive's game Behemoth with a cinematic trailer for their upcoming VR action RPG title. It showed off its brutal yet tactical combat as players conquer monoliths in a dark, unforgiving world. It's set to be released on PSVR 2, MetaQuest 2, and PC VR. No official date has been given yet, so we will wait and see on that. We then have at number 42 a new trailer for the PSVR 2 title Horizon Call of the Mountain, a spin-off of the Horizon franchise. We got a release date and it's on 22nd February 2023. Next is Among Us, which is getting the new game mode Hide and Seek, and per the trailer it looks like it's going to be a blast, plus terrifying, and in addition to that a new skin will be added, and that is of Detective Benoit Blanc from the films Knives Out and Glass Onion. The game is already out as its date was December 9th this year. Now, after almost 2 years in early access, Baldur's Gate 3 now has a release date of August 2023. Next is a trailer for a new beautiful puzzle game called Viewfinder that will see players traveling through various paintings, artworks in different locations as they try to solve various illusion-based mysteries. It's set to come out on PS5 very soon. We are then treated next to a new psychological horror title, Post-Trauma. The game follows a mysterious one through dark red soaked corridors, and it looks to be that type of horror exploration games as well, but not much is known about the game other than it will come to PC. Next is a new trailer that was shown for this multiplayer game Nightingale, a multi-world survival game that showed its traversal tools and mechanics, exploration, and its giant creatures, with some of its customization options shown and some gameplay. Next is Returnal, which PC players are finally going to get to experience. It's coming in early 2023 and it follows suit just like all the other PlayStation games that have been flying to the platform recently. Next is a new expansion for Destiny 2 Lightfall, which was given a spotlight with its flashy new trailer. It showed off its futuristic setting, plenty neon glow, and showed off its powerful gameplay. We have next a new Crash game that was announced, Crash Team Rumble, a 4v4 multiplayer game in which players will lead their squad to victory as they smash, bash, slide, and bump as a team, all to be the first to gain the most Wumpa fruit in their drop-off zone, while also defending the other team's drop zone. It's set to release 2023. We then have a trailer for a new game title, Meet Your Maker, which looks to be a sci-fi building and adventure roguelike where players construct, fortify outposts with different set of tools and also conquer enemies in third-person view. It's slated for 4th April 2023 on PS4 and PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. Next is a new DLC that was shown for Fire Emblem Three Houses titled Engage, which introduced new player characters. The game with its DLC content will be available on 20th January 2023 on the Switch. We are now introduced to Wayfinder, a new character-based action RPG set in a wild fantasy world where players in the game will be able to work together as wayfinders, heroes with special abilities, huge weapons in order to navigate this colorful world. We now have a new game announced called After Us, a game set on Earth where humans have gone extinct. Players who play as Gaia, the spirit of life who throughout the game will need to salvage the souls of extinct animals and revive them after their fate is learned. It's slated for spring 2023. Next is a retro futuristic platformer titled Replaced with a new trailer, and it shows more of what the game is going to be like. The game is set in a darkened alternate 1980s America that will take gamers to locations such as a rundown city, a trailer park, a lab, and more. Next is a pre-alpha trailer that was shown for the new game Dune Awakening, which is set in the unique world of Dune. It's an open world survival MMO coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, I'm assuming next year. We then got a trailer for Dead Cells Return to Castlevania, a DLC for the game that is crossing over with Castlevania, arriving in Q1 of next year. This DLC will include a new storyline, 2 new biomes, 14 weapons, new enemies, 3 bosses, 20 outfits, and over 50 original and reimagined Castlevania musical tracks. I guess this is the only new Castlevania content we are going to receive after starving for a long time, but you know, beggars can be choosers. We now have another Sony title coming to PC, and that's the remake of The Last of Us. It will arrive on March 3rd next year after we've digested the HBO show. Now it's a new gameplay trailer that was shown for Atomic Heart, the first-person action game set in an alternate post-World War II future. The game is like if Bioshock and Prey, the recent one of course, had a baby, and it's going to be awesome. Its release date is February 21st next year on PS4 and PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. Now, just after the recently successful and well-received Bayonetta 3 has come out, a new spin-off Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon is set to release next year, March 17th. The game will let players control both a young version of Bayonetta 3's Cereza and Cheshire. Somehow I feel like I messed up with the names. Now, those who have been wanting a Hellboy game for years now, you are in luck as we are getting a new game based on Mike Mignola's Hellboy titled Hellboy Web of Weird, a roguelite action adventure game with an original story as well. We then get a look at a new gameplay trailer for Scars Above, a new space horror game where you play as Dr. Kate, an astronaut scientist who is sent to explore an alien structure called the Metachedron that has appeared in Earth orbit. Something goes wrong obviously, and you and your team are taken across space out to a mysterious planet where you wake up alone and have to survive. The game is slated for February 28th next year on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Next is F-Blade, a new game that Celeste, the developer, Extremely OK are making, releasing in 2024. Up next is a release date trailer for Street Fighter 6, which also featured characters DJ, Manon, Maurice, and JP. And we are also shown some mini games that we can participate in, new locations, and more gameplay. We have another new game that was announced titled Banishers Ghost of New Eden by Focus Entertainment and Don't Nod, a new action RPG involving 2 ghost hunters who work their way to stop the threats of lingering ghosts and specters to protect the living, and is set in the 1965 North America. Next, we have Horizon Forbidden West, which will be getting a new DLC titled Burning Shores, which will take Aloy to Los Angeles. Yes, Aloy is going to Hollywood. The DLC will be released on April 19th next year. We now have a new game releasing outside of Japan titled Blue Protocol. It's going to be released in North America by Amazon Games but published by Bandai Namco. So Blue Protocol, as you can see from the visuals, is an anime-inspired MMORPG that features 5 classes to play as Blade Warden, Twin Striker, Keen Strider, Spellweaver, and Foebreaker. It's coming next year on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. They have a gameplay trailer for Cyberpunk 2077's Phantom Liberty, the big expansion that was revealed recently. And surprise, surprise, Idris Elba is in the game. He's going to play as a US veteran named Solomon Reed, and is apparently the only person who can help you, complete an impossible mission of espionage and survival. The expansion is set to release early next year. Next is Splash Damage, who came out to reveal their new game, Transformers Reactivate, an online action game that will tell a new Transformers story and will let players, and I quote, fully immerse themselves in the universe like never before. There's no release date as of yet, but this isn't how I wanted a Transformers game. I imagined a single player, open world, maybe semi-open world, immersive, customizable action game that would decide the fate of humanity and all that, But I am happy for those who want this. We also got a new trailer for Tekken 8, which confirms that Jin Kazama's mother, Jan, did not die in Tekken 2 as we thought. She's also going to be a playable character in the game. We get more look at the combat and new iterations of Paul, King, Lars, Martial Law, and Jack 8. We now have a new reveal trailer for a new game called Immortals of Avium by Ascendant Studios. It's a single-player magic shooter that takes place in a unique original world. It's an EA original, and the developers that worked on it also had a hand in making Halo, Dead Space, and Bioshock, so I'm really excited for this one. And some of you remember Remnant from the Ashes, that type of unique shooter game that came a few years ago if you've actually played it, and it's getting a sequel courtesy of Gearbox Publishing and developer Gunfire Games. This sequel will be released on PS5, Xbox Series X and PC in 2023 and will just be like the first, a third-person cooperative shooter, even though the first one I played it alone, and with even more dangerous settings, deadly beasts and unique loot. Here we have a new game, sort of a reboot, or should I call it a sequel, that is of 2016's Lord of the Fallen, which takes place 1,000 years after the original game. This is titled The Lords of the Fallen. They are not really good with the names, right? 2016 is Lord of the Fallen, this is The Lords of the Fallen. But anyway, it looks like we are going to have another Souls-like set in a dark fantasy world, and it's going to be challenging just like all the other RPGs, just like this. Next, we finally get the release date trailer for Diablo 4, slated for June 6, 2023, and a public beta which will take place before that date, so I know people will be very excited about this. Now, one of the most anticipated games next year, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, was shown with a trailer revealing Batman voiced by none other than Kevin Conroy, the legend. They also paid tribute to him, and man, it was just sad and unbelievable that he's gone. They also revealed the release date, which is May 26, 2023. We now have an official sequel announcement with the gameplay trailer for the popular Amazing Hades. The game will have its early access next year, which I know players will also be very happy about. I mean, the game is fantastic. I can't wait for it. Up next is Elden Ring developer From Software, who are set to release another gem, a new game called Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. They are giant robots fighting each other. Not much is known about the game other than it's supposed to be released next year. It being a From Software game, like I'm already hyped for it. We have next a new game by the creator of BioShock, Kevin Levine, called Judas. From the looks of it, it's going to be a narrative-driven single-player first-person shooter that, of course, from the likes of it, has the BioShock DNA in it. The game has no official release date, but it's going to be released on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. We now have Final Fantasy 16, for which a new trailer titled Revenge was shown. We get a look at the summon battle system and the current iteration of Ifrit, and the release date is slated for June 22nd next year. Oh, and it's a PS5 exclusive as well. Well, I guess since GTA 6 isn't coming anytime soon, thankfully we'll get to scratch that itch with the game Crime Boss Rockay City, stealth action FPS in which players are tasked with becoming criminal heads in the underworld in a fictional 90s Florida. The game is packed with celebrities, movie stars you might recognize: Chuck Norris, man, Michael Madsen, Danny Trejo, Danny Glover, Michael Rooker, Kim Basinger, Damian Portia, and Vanilla Ice. Man, I just can't wait. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, the game that many people have been waiting for, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. The first gameplay trailer has been revealed, and it sees our defenders of mankind locked in battle, fighting against the rising darkness, including demons, skeletons, among other monsters. It's going to be released on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC next year. Finally, after years of speculation, Kojima came out to reveal Death Stranding 2, and we see an older Sam Bridges, and it looks like there's going to be a more treacherous journey ahead of him. Hideo Kojima also revealed that he had written a sequel, but following the pandemic and the lockdown and all that, he rewrote everything. So it will be interesting to see how things progress in this one. Maybe one day he tells us about the first one that he wrote. We see how it compares to the one that we ultimately get. Now finally, we have Star Wars Jedi Survivor, one of the most anticipated titles, coming out next year with a reveal trailer and a concrete release date of March 17th next year. Here we see some brand new gameplay as we follow our Jedi Cal Kestis on his next adventure. The story picks up 5 years after the Fallen Order game, and man, my boy has been through it. Like, damn, it looks rough. But anyway, he's much stronger and more powerful Jedi than he ever was in the first game, but unfortunately the Empire's strength also grows as well, and his fight continues. As a bonus, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Raids, a Season 1 free content that is coming December 14th. Now that's it for the list. These are all the games that were revealed. Of course, I didn't cover the mobile games. I'm not into that. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of all these game reviews. What are your most anticipated games next year? Mine is definitely Jedi Survivor #1. The others will follow. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on that post notification bell not to miss any other video. As always, Nerdy Sage here. See you guys in the next one.